John chapter 4, verse 10 says, Jesus answered, if you knew the gift of God and who is saying to you, give me a drink, you would ask him and he would give you living water. This is in response to this conversation that started playing out. Jesus says to this Samaritan woman, hey, give me a drink. And she says, whoa, you're a Jewish person, so how can you be asking? We're violating some social norms here. And then his response is not, oh, hey, it's okay, or this, that, or the other thing. He actually says, listen, if you knew the gift of God and who is saying to you, give me a drink, you would ask him to give you living water. Jesus is calling himself the gift of God. Probably that John 3:16 gift, that God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, this gift. And then Jesus can be the one who gives living water. And he's saying, look, if you really knew who you were talking to, you're concerned about the Jewish Samaritan dynamics. You're concerned that I'm out here in the middle of the day, you're out here in the middle of the day. This is sort of weird. But if you really knew, Jesus is saying, if you really knew, you would be asking, because he's the one that can deliver living water. Now that's a curious thing, which actually causes her to ask more questions and sort of try to sort this thing out. What is this living water? You don't have a bucket. This whole conversation plays out. But Jesus is really saying, look, if you knew who you were talking to, this wouldn't be your question. This wouldn't be your concern. The differences of our relational and our racial and our social structures, they're going to be so much more silly in light of Jesus, who bridges all that back together, who's bringing back the confusion of the Tower of Babel back together, who's restoring people to God and to each other, the one who bridges all of that. He's saying to the Samaritan woman, if you really knew who I was, this would be a silly question. And yet he's gracious and he has a fantastic conversation with her, which we're going to see play out.